Don't you hate YouTube videos where people give a bunch of information you don't need before they get going? Yep, I do too. Today we're going to learn how to quickly pull the carbs off a Ninja EX500. This is a 2007. First start by removing the seat. Then we're going to want to remove the tank. There's a 12 millimeter bolt right here that we can remove. Then you're going to want to remove this piece of tubing right there. And I like to make sure that the fuel petcock is off and then lift the tank up just a little bit. And from here you can remove the fuel line, and there's also a vacuum line for the vacuum petcock. Remove that, and then the tank comes off. Next thing you're going to want to do is remove this, so you can pull this out of the air box right here. And then over here, there are two clamps. Remove these clamps. It's a lot easier to get this out of the way. And there's a vacuum line hooked from here that goes down onto the carburetors down here. Go ahead and unhook that and set that aside. Next, you're going to want to remove the clamps that are on the front. Those you would use a Phillips. I like to remove them all the way, so I open them completely up. It's one less thing to get in the way, and you'll see why the way we're going to take these off. So you just kind of spin them off, set those aside. Next, you're going to want to use a flat blade screwdriver, and you can see back here, there's little spring clips. Pry those back off on both sides. You want them all the way off onto the back. Do the same thing on the other side. And off. Next, we're going to want to remove the choke. And the easiest way to do that is to remove this screw right here. And that will give you enough play that you can then that will come off. Go ahead and set this aside. Then you want to remove this tube. It fits on right here. Just slide that out of the way. Now we're going to leave the two throttle cables, the throttle and the return, hooked up because they're a lot easier to take off once the carbs are out. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a flat blade screwdriver, and you want to be really gentle here. We're going to pry the boot away from the front here while at the same time pulling back. And you'll see it's starting to come loose. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. You want to be really gentle because you don't want to tear your boots. Now the two fronts are out. So from here, we're going to just kind of wiggle this, and that gets the carbs out of there. Next thing I like to do is I like to mark each of these. So I'm going to put R for right and L for left on here with a Sharpie. They will go on backwards, and if they do, you are going to have all kinds of problems. So we're going to assume that everything's adjusted correctly, and so when we put it back together, we're going to want it to be the same. So we're going to just loosen up this top nut. So on the left one, once you loosen that up, this will come out of here, and then it'll slide out of here. So go ahead and move that out of the way. This one's a little more complicated. We're gonna break that loose. loosen this up. This is going to come out of here. And the easiest way that I've found to do this is to put this way back in here. Then you can take this and this will pop out just like that. And that's how you remove the carbs on a 2007 Ninja EX500 in just a few minutes.